Welcome to EHI TV, eHealth Insider's essential news on video. I'm Shana Crispin. eHealth Insider has just launched a campaign to get every NHS provider to consider appointing a Chief Clinical Information Officer. With me to talk about the campaign, I have Editor of EHI, John Hoeksma. Welcome, John.
Hi, Shana.
Firstly, John, tell us about the campaign.
Okay, well, the campaign is calling for every NHS trust and in the future other NHS bodies as well to give consideration to appointing a Chief Clinical Information Officer to act as their clinical lead on IT projects and use of information to improve patient quality. And as a first step, we've written to the Secretary of State for Health, urging him to ask trusts to give consideration to appointing a clinical information champion as a first step down that road.
Okay, so what is a Chief Clinical Information Officer?
Okay, well, there's been a lot of projects both during the period of National Programme for IT and outside the programme, which have identified clinical leadership, clinical engagement, right from the very early stages of any IT project in healthcare as one of those essential ingredients. Almost always there on projects that do well, and often absent in those that don't do well. So with much greater emphasis on local decision-making and local setting priorities on IT projects, it struck us as a very good idea to have clinical leadership at a local level. And often that exists informally at the moment, but it's really trying to kind of build up that capacity, those skills at a local level.
Okay, so is this role just for doctors?
No, it's in part the campaign's inspired by developments in the US over the past decade, where there's been a movement that's seen the development of chief medical information officers in the US. And in the UK, we've very deliberately tried to pitch it as a role that would appeal to a broad range of clinicians. So yes, of course, we hope that many doctors will see this as a role that offers an attractive career path for them. But we think that many other clinical professionals have a contribution to make, particularly nurses. They're, after all, the biggest group of users of IT systems in healthcare, and many other therapists and professionals.
Okay. What about those people already working in IT and healthcare? Is this role going to replace what they do?
We've had that question right from the outset. It's a good question. What about CIOs? Now, unfortunately, not every trust has a CIO at the moment, but some do. And many sort of IT directors. This is very much intended to be in addition to what's there already. It's about there being a consistent leadership role on use of information in clinical IT at local level. At the minute, it tends to be a bit of an adhocracy where people are involved for the duration of a particular project, rather than being a sort of corpus of experience and knowledge which is built up over time.
Okay. So how is the campaign progressing? You mentioned you've got an open letter to the Secretary of State, Andrew Lansley.
Well, the open letter went, so that happened week before last, and we've had some initial encouraging feedback, which we hope to report back on soon. We launched the campaign with the backing of the Royal College of Physicians and the BCS, the Chartered Institute of IT, two key bodies. Obviously, the Royal College of Physicians, one of the biggest representative bodies of doctors working in the NHS, and the BCS, the main professional body for informatics professionals. So we're delighted to have their support right from the outset. We've picked up quite a few additional messages of support and formal backings from suppliers and individuals, and we are just on the brink of launching the new campaign website, which is specifically designed to get as many people supporting and showing their backing for the campaign as possible. Okay,
so tell us about that site. What's it going to involve? What's in it for readers?
Okay, well, the site, as you'd expect, and the site's at ehi.co.uk/CCIO, gives background on the campaign, describes the role of the CCIO that we're campaigning for. You've got a variety of feature articles, insight pieces, looking at how the role was developed in the US and the experience there. But from the reader's point of view, the main thing we're hoping that readers will do is come along, have a read, be convinced by what we're trying to achieve with the campaign, and lend their support. Give their endorsement to the campaign with a simple petition feature that we have, and then invite friends and colleagues to do the same. So we're really trying to build a solid bedrock of support from as many people as possible. We hope that people will come to the site and lend their support to the campaign.
Okay, thanks, John. As John mentioned, please feel free to visit the site. That's at ehi.co.uk/CCIO to read about the campaign and to get involved.